Today we are going to learn a very interesting feature of Azure Load Balancer, which is Azure Cross Subscription Load Balancer. It wasn't there earlier. As the things grow, the new features come along. So this feature is gone GA a couple of months back, but it is a feature that I have come across with my customers in certain situations. So I think it would be nice to explore this feature where the same or single load balancer is managing resources from different subscription. Yes, this is possible now. So in this video, we'll see what is cross subscription load balancing, why it is important, how does it work conceptually, and the key limitation and workaround. All right, so let's understand this with the help of a diagram so that our concepts will be clear absolutely. So let's suppose this is our MS tenant. What is this? This is our MS tenant. And inside the tenant, we have subscription. All right. And we have another subscription. Okay. Let me name them. It will be helpful. MS. This is our intra tenant, because to do this it should be in the same tenant as of now. So enter tenant. This is our subscription 1 and this is our subscription 2. All right, now what we were doing till now is we had load balancer. Okay, this is really important. Just focus what I'm trying to do right now and you will see it's really important, and it will make you understand this particular feature. And at the back end we had VMs, right? And at the front end we have like let's suppose IP address. Not suppose, it is a IP address. Okay, IP address at the front end, more like this. All right, so these are our VM behind the load balancer. This is our load balancer. These are our IP address. Maybe it is public or private, doesn't matter for now. Let's call it public. Now, this was the scenario. Somebody is accessing the public IP. It will go to the load balancer and it will come to the backend VMs, right? But it was all in the same subscription. Your virtual machines were in the same virtual network. If it is a private IP, then even load balancer is in the same virtual network, right? You remember that? I hope you do. So it was like this. Okay, but now with the help of this cross subscription facility, or we can do what we can have this, I'm sorry, we can have this particular piece or maybe other piece into a different subscription. This is possible now. All right, so which means your load balancer is running in subscription 1 with the public IP address. That's why I said public, because private means this should also move here, which is also possible. But for now, we are just trying to understand it. What is cross subscription? Now, your load balancer, your public IP is in subscription A and your VMs are running in a subscription 2. So this is possible. And now the traffic will come like this, go to the load balancer and any of the VM as per the rules. This will be the situation. All right. Now, let's try to understand it further. So what was the next topic to understand it? It was very simple. Why is this needed? Okay. So You must have seen, even as per our enterprise landing zone, the large enterprises often separate workloads into multiple subscription for governance, for cost management, security, and networking. So instead of deploying separate load balancer per subscription, a single or multiple load balancer in a single subscription can do can suffice the need. Now the team, because this is a networking device, so networking team will have the access to the networking component through the networking subscription, and rest of the things can easily be done from there. This is one of the uh, reason that this thing is developed, right? But one situation that I have seen, which was like this, uh, I'll show you like this. There was, it is interesting one. I just wanted to share. There were like two subscription. Okay, in one subscription there was NBA. Okay, and these are subscription holding only single machines. There is single VM. Okay, single VM. It is a very simple uh, setup because that was the need of the business. It is not like they are not following the practice and whatever, because all the practice depends on the trade-offs. And both of these subscription is inside the same tenant. Now they do not want to spin up another NVA for this subscription, and you need to maintain that NVA, that all the rules, patching and everything, and cost, of course. What they wanted to manage even the single VM through this NVA, because all the traffic should be scanned and all IDPs and IPs, everything would be taken care from this NVA, and traffic could be sent to this VM, which was, and we don't want to connect these two subscription because maybe these two VMs supposed to be in a separate subscription, maybe because of different customer, whatsoever is the reason. So what they did, they added one load balancer here and started sending traffic coming from here to here, something like this. Okay, yes, this is what they did. And whatever the IP address that they have here, they apply the rules here, and the NSG, then only traffic from NBA can come to this, and this can easily forward the traffic to VM. So just they save the money on the NVA admin overhead, security admin overhead, and the maintenance with the help of single load balancer, and save a lot of cost. So accordingly, there could be multiple reasons that you could utilize this functionality, this wonderful functionality of load balancer, right? So if we use this load balancer, what all benefits that we could see? As we were discussing, multiple subscription for dedicated vertical, for networking, for security management and stuff like that. So you could have centralized load balancing, maybe like managing traffic centrally without creating multiple load balancer in different subscription, but utilizing a proper granular RBAC, and from single subscription you're managing everything, like from the networking subscription. All communication remains inside the Azure backbone. Yes, it will still remain in the Azure backbone, and uh, no need for the redundant load balancer across different subscription. Now a single load balancer can do, or multiple load balancer single subscription can do. So these are few benefits. As per our requirement we can find the benefits, but the whole purpose is this can be done and managed accordingly. Right now, let's see. In this particular situation, the public IP and load balancer is in subscription 1, and the VMs are in subscription 2. You know what? Even this is possible. This public IP can be, okay, this public IP, we can move this public IP to this. For example, all these three in this subscription 2, only load balancer is in the subscription 1. Even that scenario is possible. Okay, and other way around is also possible. Means if I take these VM back to load balancer and keep the pip here, that is also possible. The front end IP or public IP address is in a different subscription, and this setup is in a different subscription, right? So this is all possible now. Now the point I'm trying to make, all these three scenarios as of now is supported, where there are three components of a load balancer. There is a front end, there is a load balancer, and there is a back end, right? So in a different subscription, single VMs can be there, like resources out of three components. Let's call them component number one, component number two, and this is component number three, right? So any of these component could be in a different subscription. Yes. So this is what I'm trying to explain. Now it will become more interesting when you know, like, if, let me put this aside and try to explain a different scenario, because you can have multiple public IP address attached to the load balancer, right? So now we can have, this is one subscription, this is, let's make it orange so that we could be aware, this is another subscription, this is another subscription, right? And all these subscriptions are in a same tenant, this is must, right? Now we have one public IP is here, okay, one public IP is here, okay, we have VMs here, like the backend resources in a different subscription behind the load balancer. Even that architecture is possible, okay. This is one, this is another, and this is, let's call them subscription A, subscription B, and subscription C. Even this is possible now. Now the traffic as per the rule may come here, it will go like this, and the backend VM same goes with like this. Okay, so these are few architectures or few complexities that can be achieved through cross subscription Azure Load Balancer feature. But it is not like you can do just like you are creating your usual load balancer, but there are certain things that we need to follow. And what are those certain things? Well, there is some key configurations. For example, there is some tagging that we need to apply. Okay, so let's understand that. So when setting up a backend pool, we are setting up a backend pool that includes resources from different subscription. Okay, there is a sync mode property. We need to enable or tag a sync mode property that must be configured. This property determines how the backend pool instance synchronize with the load balancer. Okay, with the load balancer. So there are two types of values is possible for this. One is automatic and another is manual for the sync mode. I'll show you even in the MS Doc, that would be helpful. So in automatic, backend pool instance are automatically synchronized with the load balancer's configuration. What is load balancer configuration? The load balancing rule, the front end IP, the ports and everything. Okay. So automatically it will manage, the configuration will come down like it happens in the VMSS. And in case of manual, backend pool instance are not automatically synchronized. We need to do it, okay, manually. And this is usually for the scenarios such as DR or dynamic provisioning, right? This is one setting that needs to be applied. Another one is remote is remote front end, right? What is front end? These public IPs. So this tag supposed to be true. So for scenarios where front end IP configuration resides in a different subscription than the load balancer, okay, load balancer in a different subscription, the is remote front end, this tag needs to be attached, must be set to true. This configuration combined with the appropriate sync mode setting enable cross subscription front-ended IP configurations. Right. So these are the two magic things that needs to be done. And network contributor role is the role which is needed, someone who will be managing it. Okay. All right. So apart from this, I'll show you in the documentation these certain things like backend pool still should be in the same virtual network. It's not like other way around. Like you could not have the resources in a different subscription. Only the PIP or the public IP could be in a different subscription because your backend VM should be in a same virtual network. And basic does not support it. Only the standard supports this. And all subscription must be in the same intra tenant. For from different tenant, it is not possible. Let me show you a few things. Okay, so this is cross subscription load balancer that we are trying to understand, and these are the scenarios that we understood as of now. These are those situations that we talked about. Okay, all right, and this is that situation, public IP address different. Okay, and here is the sync mode. Okay, and automatic mode, manual mode that we were talking about. The property must be set when using cross subscription front end or back end. It has the possible two values, automatic and manual. And one important thing is this property replaces the concept of NIC based or IP based backend pool. When we add the backend pool, we can do it as either through NIC or IP. If we enable the sync mode, then this is the third sync mode enabled. No need to do NIC and IP because automatically it will take it, or manually you would need to enter it, right? Okay, so this is what the cross subscription uh, Azure Load Balancer is. Now I just need to show you uh, how to do it through uh, cross subscription load balancing. Attach a cross subscription backend to an Azure Load Balancer. There are multiple things that you can try. There is no UI for this as of now. You have to do it through PowerShell or Azure CLI. As you can see, we are just trying to create virtual network here as of now, then resource group, then load balancer, right? And the public IP load balancer. Okay. Now here you see resource group name, load balancer, virtual network. Now this property is automatic, right? Here through the PowerShell, you are adding this. Okay. Now, if I go to IP, internal load balancer, front end load balancer, then here we have the different tag that we were mentioning earlier. Tags is remote front end is true. This is a tag that needs to be there on the public IP. But if we are doing this, attach a cross subscription backend and to an Azure load balancer, then sync property needs to be automatic or manual that I was showing you earlier right here. Okay. So yeah, this is all about cross subscription load balancer. This is a new feature. You would not find so many videos around on this. But yeah, it seems important. A lot of update will come to this one, I'm pretty sure. And thank you for watching, and you guys have a wonderful day. I'll put this link in the description if you would like to have a good read and like to share your understanding. Well, thank you for watching. Bye bye.